Let's try to do a little toolbox tour. So we're going to start out with this big box over here. This box, it's kind of a mess, and that's okay. It's got a lot of parts. I'm working on a 1948 Jeep. So let's start with the top drawer. So in here, we have snap-on pry bars. We've got a Mac Tools. This is I'm sorry, I should have been a little bit more prepared for this. We've got a digital voltmeter. A lot of extra stuff back here. This is really cool. This is a snap-on torque wrench. It's digital. Makes a lot of noises, vibrates, but very accurate. We've got a Matco bit driver set. It's not the best one, but you know what? It was at the time. So it's kind of cool. I got a lot of gaskets in here. I keep a lot of my gaskets in here. Let's just close this drawer. That's a big unwieldy drawer. This is a good drawer too. So this is kind of like an oh shit drawer. This is what you don't want to have to open. We got a tap and die set. We have this is my favorite tool. I love this. This is a snap-on. It looks like a tap and die set, but what it is a thread chaser set. And so it basically fixes threads that are not too far gone. My snap-on guy, Mike Shine, saw me trying to get something off, and he just had this thing sent to me. I did pay for it, but I mean, it was a nice gesture, and that's why you love quality tools from good people. But this is a stud extractor and installer set. Really nice set. I love it. I've used it. It has paid for itself. Let's see if I can get that put back together. I've got some Willys parts in here, some cheapo sockets. Let's see in here. This is mostly pullers and stuff. So and flaring tools. So I got my brake line and fuel line flaring tools. This is a special puller for pulling seals off of a Willys transfer case. It's in here. You don't need to see it. That's a puller for the front hubs on a Willys. This is for the rear hubs on a Willys. And this is for the steering wheel on a Willys. Willys, you gotta have a lot of special damn tools for. Hammers. Snap-on hammers are the best. They really are. I mean, they whack like you wouldn't believe. Snap-on and the old Mac hammers were good too. This is an old Mac brass hammer, so they don't mar what you're hitting. And then you got specialty hammers like this one for hubcaps, popping them off and putting them back on. Very nice. Some cleanup tools, brushes, more hammers. My special little gasket hammer, little tiny little ball peen hammer, but it's great for pounding out gaskets. I love that thing. Let's see what we got in here. Kind of a miscellaneous drawer. We got a transmission and transaxle plug kit. We've got various chemicals. We've got some transmission, what do you call it? Transmission assembly lube. We've got some engine assembly lube, Mr. Race Oil. You can call him Mr. And then we've got some red and tacky grease. We got some stupid ass, whatever you call them, electric tools. I don't like those very much. We got a dingleberry hone. A lot of these. These are zip ties. When you work on a Jeep, you gotta have zip ties. We got some valve springs, oil filters, an engine oil pressure tester. This is kind of cool. This is something I've never used, but it's supposed to go on this Jeep to pull the engine. but I found it's just easier just to use a chain. So that was kind of a waste of money. We've got a top dead center whistle. It helps you find top dead center. We have a ridge reamer. Very important when you're pulling pistons out. We have a piston ring compressor, bearing race and seal drivers. We've got some old Dorman freeze plugs. We've got some more seal drivers, Toyota oil wrenches, regular oil wrenches. We've got some piston ring pliers. That's a block tester, so you can test to see if your block is, or your head gaskets are blown. And here we've got a puller set, a pulley remover set. This is a lot of pullers. This is not a puller though. This is a Universal AST, which is a really good company. And this is, I don't even think they make this thing anymore, but it's a clutch installing tool, kind of universal. It's pretty neat. It works really well, but it doesn't work as well as just using these cheap old things. These work well, and even better than that is actually using the actual input shaft from the transmission you're trying to install. So that works well as well. Bunch of files. This is fuel injection stuff. I don't use this stuff very much anymore, but I had to use it at one point. So I've got you know, pressure gauges in here for days. Lots of fuel injection pressure gauges, Noid lights, adapter sets. I had to have those. These are for pulling CIS injectors out of Volkswagens, BMWs, and the like. This is for pulling fuel lines on Fords. More fuel injection stuff in there. Kind of done with this side. So over here, I've got a few sockets. Not a bunch, but these are all 1/2 inch mid-length. I love the mid-length sockets. These things are so cool. They're kind of the difference between a shallow socket and a deep socket, but these things are awesome. And then these things too, I mean, if you want to wear dentures, these are your perfect choice, because if you put these on an impact tool and you hit the trigger on it, these things are going to come flying off and most likely knock your teeth out. These are Mac tools. They call them, I forget what they call them, enhance. It's not going to tell me, but look at that. That thing will grip anything, even a rounded bolt. You just hammer them on and then pop them off. You know, you put a socket on it and you pop them off. See, I've got some Toyota inner fender clips, four-wheel drive tools, more hub tools. These are for Dodge vehicles. Let's see, anything else? No. Let's see what we got in here. It's kind of like just stuff that's really too big to go in anything. These are kind of weird, but I used these a lot when I was working on cars. These are for taking off radiator caps when things are pretty hot. And then these are for putting your calipers, compressing your calipers back. So put that back in. Nope, probably not. There we go. A lot of welding stuff in here. So I got gas welding, chipping hammers. These are for spacing things out in the correct direction. I've got extra wire. I've got an extra ground clamp. Just some kind of neat stuff. Oh, this thing is the coolest thing ever. That thing is for welding up, plugging up holes in the body of a Jeep or any other car that you're working on. In here, that is kind of cool. I love these body clamps. These things are body clip clamp removers. These things are awesome because they actually will. Let's see if I can do it. But you see, they're indexing, so they will go to whatever shape you need or size you need, whatever. Body hammer, which is really neat. They do a great job. And then the dollies, so you're not hitting just on whatever. You're actually hitting your piece of metal between the use this. Let's see. We got some wrenches in here, big wrenches. And we got, these are the best wrenches ever. Now my Snap-on guy thinks I was a little nuts for buying these, but I just love these things. These are kind of old school, you know, they're just great. They have a socket on one end and then just an open end on the other. And then old school Mac wrenches. These were one of the first wrenches I ever bought. That's a whole set of them. Go from very small. These are the metric size, but they go from like 6mm up to 19. And then, let's see, I got my Astro nut setter and a bunch of parts in here, so that's really not a lot to see down there. Down there I get bigger cases of stuff. So let's start at the bottom of this toolbox. And by the way, this is an antique Snap-on box. And I love this box. It's my favorite box. So I've got a ball joint press tool in here. This is all the heavy stuff. So I've got a chain in here for pulling engines. There's another chain over there. I've got saws, and I've got slide hammers and ladies' feet. Bunch of big stuff. And it's heavy. And then the money drawer, as they say. This is the air tools, but it's no longer the money drawer because now the money drawer is all your electrical tools, or not your electrical tools, but your electric impacts and electric ratchets and all that, which I don't have. And then in here I've got brake tools. So I've got all the stuff for doing brakes, and brakes are just gravy. I love doing brakes. And then I've also got some air conditioning tools back there, but I don't know that any of these are any good anymore because we no longer use R12. And then my electrical drawer, and this is all fun stuff. Really the only thing I use in here are the back probing tools and the battery tester. I've got all kinds of different clips and wires and stuff to test whatever you got. And the next one up, pliers. And I tell you what, Snap-on makes the best pliers. So I've got a bunch in here. I'm not going to go through them all, but that's a Blue Point, so that's Snap-on. Blue Point, Snap-on. That's a Snap-on pair of pliers that's actually made for pulling the caps off of your hubs. But these right here, if you don't have a pair of dikes like this, buy them from Snap-on because they're the best. These are okay. These are the shit for making, you know, electrical connections. And if you ever need to do transmission work or, you know, anything with snap rings, these are the best snap ring pliers you can get. And then of course you got to have your big channel locks, and these are the snap ring pliers that just, oh, I hate those. Then we have screwdrivers, and I like green handles on those. I've also got some, these are old Z-Lite nut drivers. Those are kind of cool. I don't know that you can buy those anymore. And then I've got an old Mac Tools ignition wrench set. I know you can't get this set anymore because nobody makes cars with points on them anymore, so you don't have to work on them, but you still got these antiques. And then we've got, you know, hex key sets. In here, it's kind of a mess, but I've got kind of weird stuff like, you know, this is for just taking off the exhaust hangers on Volkswagens. This wrench here is just for the fuel filters on GM cars. This thing paired with this pair of pliers are for adjusting the valves on a Volkswagen. And this is just for General Motors side post batteries. Try to get that back in there. Mac Tools. If you're going to buy drill bits, always buy Mac drill bits because they are all warranted for life. Not just the big ones, but even the little itty bitty guys are. Snap-on will not warranty that. You have to rebuy that. And that's just messed up. I mean, as much as you pay for that, but it is what it is. And I love my Snap-on guy. He's the best guy ever, but it is what it is. These, I don't buy these off a Snap-on truck either because they're sacrificial. So Amazon for your brass punches. Unless he can tell me why I should be buying them from him, I'm not going to do it yet. Saw Willie. These are kind of cool. They were kind of like, these are, and this Matco set here as well. They're the same thing, but these, what they do is they're also stud extractors and installers. I'm not a big fan of them. They sometimes work, sometimes don't. But it is what it is. And then in here, this is kind of tune-up stuff in here. So I've got mirrors so I can see things. I've got a vacuum gauge, timing light, compression gauge. Let's see, we've got a vacuum pump here. That's an old OBD2 code reader. I don't think I'd hook that up to any modern day car today because I think it'd probably break it. And then I've got carburetor adjusting tools. These are weird. These are just, all that thing does is reset 2 years of BMW lights. And somewhere in here I've got the adapter to do 2 more years. Ratchets. I've got torque wrenches. And you already saw my really good torque wrench. These, I don't think I'd trust those like doing head bolts or anything, but I'm sure they're okay. But these are kind of neat. These are socket adapters that you can put in a wrench. So you kind of get a lot of clearance where you need it. These are from Vim, and I really like Vim tools. Vim tools are nice. I've got a Matco ratchet. I bought this because I really wanted to try out their ratchet. I thought they were kind of cool. I kind of got suckered into it by Clay Kuhn on Kuhn Trucking's videos, but I like them. They're not bad. I got this cool Astro, which very much looks like a Snap-on with the handle, but it's an Astro 1/4 inch, and this is probably the smallest head I've ever seen on a ratchet. I don't even think Snap-on makes them that small. And of course you got your Snap-on 1/2 inch. 3/8 regular size, 3/8 stubby. Here's a 3/8 in a 1/4 inch body. That's one handy ass tool. And then you got the flex head Snap-on, which is also a good one. Let's see, let's go up one more. Got wrenches for days. We've got Snap-on and Mac, Snap-on and Craftsman. These things were a gimmick, and I wish I would never have bought them, but I did back in the day. They're supposed to be a ratcheting open-end wrench. They never worked as advertised. So, don't buy those. Up here we have extensions, and these things are going to be your friends because you never know where you're going to have to go. And I've got 3/8, which is going to be your most used. I've got 1/2 inch, which you see I don't have nearly as many. And then 1/4 inch, you're going to use the 1/4 inch a lot, and the 3/8 the most. And then you have your line wrenches. These are in metric. These are standard over here. And then just box end wrenches. I've got metric and standard. And then this is kind of like the more precision drawer. So I've got feeler gauges. I've got a lot of feeler gauges. A lot of these, I didn't buy most of these. Some of these were given to me. I bought this set. I like this set a lot. Again, my Snap-on guy was able to set me up with these. And then over here, I've got scrapers. I've got 3 Snap-on scrapers. I've got 2 Mac scrapers, and they came with some picks as well. So there's 2 different picks here. And then little picks, Snap-on. These are for, what do you call them? O-ring seals. And then some more just Matco picks. And then we've got some sockets up here, and you think that's a lot of sockets, and it is, but there's a need for every single one of them. You know, some of them are these U-joint sockets, some of them are deep sockets, 1/2 inch, and then you've got your mid-length sockets. So they all have, and then you have your 1/4 inch sockets, and we have standard, and we have metric back here. that's just some really cool stuff. And then, you know, some other stuff that we've got. Welding helmets. So I've got a couple of welding helmets and then some old school welding helmets over there, because we do some welding here. We do have some shop equipment. We've got, you know, a couple of jacks. We have some engine stands holding up engines. We also have over there, I don't know if you can see it or not, but over there we've got a shop press. And underneath all that mess, we've got a solvent tank and an air compressor. So we're able to do some stuff. Oh, we got an oxyacetylene as well. So, and then of course we have, you know, some more blowers and air tools. I know it doesn't look like it a lot of times, but I am actually kind of doing some stuff out here. And it's kind of fun. I love this stuff. This is my favorite thing to do. So this is probably the longest video, and I'm not going to post it on Facebook. This is going to go on YouTube. So subscribe, like, and comment, please. I really want to hear what you have to say about my videos. Thank you, and you all have a blessed day.